If I type into my search area up here, say the word elephants, I want every image that's got elephants in it, and I don't care if I got 100,000 images. I want to be able to identify them. Maybe this is Marie, and I want to type in Marie and get all the Maries no matter where they are. So we are talking about keywords, of course, and tagging, but Elements Organizer 12 really changed the game here. If you go into tags and info down here, now we don't want information. We were there in the last lesson. We want tags. You have keywords, but you now have people, place, and event tags that can really do some pretty cool stuff. Let's start with keywords. Every one of these images in this folder has something in common. And that's probably pretty true when you have a folder of images. Maybe they were all taken in London or Wichita or Berlin or wherever. And so you could say, okay, that would be a good keyword. But the one common denominator between all of these is that they are all PhotoSpin images. And I want to make sure that they get their credit. So if I go into keywords first, click this little button right there. We have nature, color, photography, and other. Now, I will say that all 5 of those images were shot in color. So suppose we could use that one. Let's do that one first. Come in here, click somewhere, and press Control-A. That's a shortcut for Select All, and that's Command-A on a Mac, Control-A in Windows. Now, if we come over to Color and right-click, one of our options is to apply to selected media. Pretty straightforward. Go ahead and select it. Now watch our images. They get a tag just for a minute, and then it goes away, saying, okay, you've done that. So if you search for something now for color, you're going to find it. But I also want to add one of my own. I don't want it as a main category. I want it under maybe other, or maybe actually photography. Maybe that one right there. So if I click up here on this button, see a little plus sign? We get Create Keyword Tag. Now the category I want it to go into is photography. The name would be PhotoSpin. If you want to add a note, you can. If you want to edit or change the icon, that's up to you. I'm not going to do that, but you could if you want to. I'll click OK down here. And now under photography, we have a subcategory called PhotoSpin. And since they are all selected still, I'll go ahead and right-click and say Apply to Selected Media. So now we have 2. They're all color and they're all PhotoSpin. But what about individual ones? For example, Marie. I'm going to show you Marie, but let's get out keywords. Keywords, you can make as many as you want. So let's collapse keywords, and let's go into people. Now in people, we have Juan, Marie, Sally, colleagues, family, friends. Now those are the defaults. We can click over here and make a new one if we want to. But let's say Marie is Marie over here. The easiest way to apply that to her as a single item is drag it and let go. But we put it as not a keyword. We put it as a people tag, and that made all the difference in the world. Watch this. If I go into people now, I now have a category called Marie. And every time I put a Marie tag from people onto an image, regardless of where it is in my catalog, they will appear here. We're going to do more work in people later, but that is awesome. Now let's go back to media. That's Stonehenge. You know that's Stonehenge. I know that's Stonehenge. Everybody knows that's Stonehenge. I've been there. It's kind of actually pretty cool. Let's go into places. Now in places, I've already made some of these, but understand, if you've been working in Elements Organizer 11 and you upgrade to 12, guess what's going to be there? The same stuff you put in there. Now I have right here UK, England, Wiltshire, Stonehenge. There it is. Now what I've done here is by clicking this little button right here, I started out with a new place. I then made a subcategory. If I drag Stonehenge onto Stonehenge, watch what happens real quick. See four little icons come up? That's because there's actually 4 things. This, and this. But I love this. This is so cool. If you go to places, guess what? There it is. That image is now on Stonehenge. Now, I set that up. It wasn't just because I typed in the word Stonehenge and it knew exactly what to do. There were a few things I had to do up front, and we'll talk about that when we get into and talk about places. But you can put your images as people, as places. We'll talk about events later, but it's the same idea. In the new tagging area, you have the ability to add these things right here as opposed to going to people, places, and events and doing it. And when you add the tags here, they automatically appear in people, places, and events. Now, there is something else I want to show you. If we come down here to image tags, say I select this one right here, and I come into image tags right here and it says add a custom keyword. Now, you will notice also that it says color and photo spin down here. If I click on this one, it will say color, photo spin, United Kingdom, England, Wiltshire, and Stonehenge. It shows you the keys that are down there. If we come back to this one, we can add a custom keyword very quickly here. If we click here, all these different keywords are there for us, including things like, well, zooming in, zooming out for video, in focus, low quality, medium quality, high quality, motion, music, nature. So if I select it here and click add, I've added a custom keyword, but if I get back in there again and type in elephants and click add, it will then add that keyword there too. Once you get your images into Organizer, the important thing is to organize them so you can find them again. Your first line of defense is your folders. Okay, the folders should be specific to certain things that you did. But beyond that, inside of the folders, you could have hundreds of things inside of there, and using tags will help you get what you need as quickly as possible.